You constantly need to be looking up here whenever you can, just so you can pay attention to how much time you actually have. Because whenever the diffuser is planted, defenders are always like, yo, we have to go, 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 go. But no, you don't need to go. All you need is 7 seconds to defuse. Maybe a few seconds to run over to the diffuser, but you don't need to start diffusing as soon as it's planted. You have... Yeah, okay. What is going on, guys? A21 Mayo here. Today I'm bringing episode number 17 of the Viewer VoD review series. You can find links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, as well as my tip video playlist down below. And as I've said in the previous VoD review videos, I have currently closed the Google form to submit your VoDs because I had an overwhelming amount of VoDs to review. So I'm just going to keep saying it every video so that way you guys know. I'm trying to get through them as fast as I can. I'm doing a lot with my time, and I have a lot of things to do between streaming, content creation, and competitive play within Siege itself. So I hope you guys understand, and I'm trying to power through them as fast as I can. And with all that being said, let's move on to the VoD itself. Alright, so this VoD was submitted by Practical B. I'm not sure if that's his in-game name, but I'm just going to go off his YouTube name. And he said to read the description, so that is what I'm going to do. So it says, this gameplay is from exactly 1 month from switching from console to PC. I never used MMK for gaming prior to getting a PC for Siege. I was Plat 2 on console and started playing during Operation Chimera. I'd also like to hear your opinion on your keybinds and if you think it affects my gameplay. Here are the things I've changed. So your drone deployment is on 1. Enter slash exit observation is on 2. So right away that tells me what do you use to change your weapons with? Do you use scroll wheel? Because using scroll wheel is really inconsistent with changing your weapons. Mouse 4 is lean left, mouse 5 is lean right. The biggest issue I have with mouse leaning is it creates micro adjustments that aren't needed in your aim. So what I mean by this is, if you take your mouse, right, and you want to press the thumb button in, it might shift your hand to the right or left. Just because you're adding side pressure to your mouse that isn't really needed. So, I mean, there's a lot of great Siege players that lean with their mouse buttons. Do I recommend it? No. Do I think you should change it? Probably not. If you enjoy using it and you are efficient with it, then use it. That's fine. But personally, I don't like it because it can add micro adjustments to your aiming that could whiff you a kill or get you killed. DPI button, secondary gadget. Okay, so you have your DPI button to bounce secondary gadget. I'm assuming your primary is default middle mouse button. Interesting. So this is the biggest thing that I have to say about this so far. If you want to change your... So if you want to swap weapons, I'm assuming you have to use scroll wheel. So my biggest thing with this right now is if you go to pull out your primary gadget, you might accidentally scroll wheel up or down and change your actual like secondary and primary weapon. Like you might swap. So that would create a lot of inconsistency to me. Your walk is on E. Okay, that doesn't make sense. And your prone is on X. Alright, so this is something that I did when I first got into console game or PC gaming when I was 12, 13. I wanted to bind every single button I could to my mouse. And that will create, again, a lot of inconsistency because you're constantly having to move your fingers on your mouse, which will create, it will make your mouse grip different every single time because you're constantly having to move your hand to pull out your primary gadget, whatever, lean left, right. You have to yada yada yada. So it'll change your mouse grip, which will somewhat change your aim because everyone has their own mouse grip, just the same way everyone has a certain driving position or whatever. Everyone has their own way of gripping their mouse. So I think what you're trying to do here is what I tried to do when I first started playing on PC. I tried to bind every single button I could to my mouse. So I would definitely say don't do that, because eventually I just like put everything on the back of my keyboard. I don't know why you have E on, or I don't know why you have walk on E, because that would take one of your primary fingers that you need to play any FPS off of WASD. So try to start using your thumb for the bottom row of keys. That's what I do. I press every single button through Z, through B on the bottom row of my keyboard with my thumb. I press F with my thumb, and I press spacebar, obviously, and Alt with my thumb if I want to Alt walk. So yeah, definitely try changing these up. Try using default keybinds at first, and then just go like work your way towards catering and tailoring your keybinds for you, because these are really wonky. I'm sure you can like get good with them and like perform well with them, but what are you gonna do when you play a different FPS game and you don't have these same keybinds? Because I mean, it's just the consistency won't carry over from Siege to a different FPS game, basically. Like, I can't imagine playing with these keybinds. And your sense is 5570, 800 DPI. I really can't say much about that. If you like it, play with it. I really can't help you out in the sensitivity department, because I haven't seen you play yet. But if I do see anything with your sensitivity, I would definitely I'll say something about it.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Okay, so you're starting off with a rotate, which is good. Using your shotgun and everything you need to do with your shotgun. Making some rotates, making some angles. So you're doing very default soft destruction with your shotgun.
Oh, that was an accident.
10 seconds left.
So I feel like what just happened there was you tried to press one button, but you got overwhelmed with your keybinds, and you either fat fingered or you got overwhelmed and accidentally pressed a different button that you didn't mean to. So yeah, I don't know. Your keybinds are very odd. I'll just say that much.
5 seconds.
I would definitely move this barbed wire up, this bottom set, because an attacker could be like right around this area and smack the barb for free. You want to use your barbed wire as funnel points. So definitely pick up this bottom set and move this second set up a little bit, so that way they have nowhere to go if they want to walk through the barbed wire or melee it. Like they have nowhere to go. They either have to push forward or go back down. Either way, you're funneling them between these two walls here. This is free barbed wire on the bottom set of the stairs.
Located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Plus, I mean, like one Ash Charger Zofia Impact could get both of those sets of barb for free. Getting on cams, which is good. Pretty much just sitting here. You're not running around and shit, which is good.
That's a bathroom window they're hitting.
Oh, your name is Nine Banger, okay.
One outside of the window.
Your teammates are getting fried, which is usually how this map goes if you're solo queuing. If you're not 5-stack on this map, your team usually gets f***ing fried. No, either you or your teammate's gonna have to make a play here and at least get a pick, because with a minute, yeah, you should. So one of you need to make a play here and at least get a pick, because now you're in a 1v4 situation and they have pretty much full site control. So now it's a 1v3, which is good. Oh, you jumped the gun there, for sure.
Op 4 is placed. Diffuser neutral bomb. Destroy it.
That guy's 1 HP. Zo could die for that.
One op 4
One more.
remaining.
1v1, baby.
Yeah, okay. So, you definitely whiffed a lot of opportunities, which is fine. I'm not expecting much mechanics-wise, just because you're so new to Siege on PC. But one thing I'm noticing when you are taking gunfights is, if you have the opportunity to line up a shot and make sure that you guarantee the kill, like on this map, for example, when you come around this corner here and you see him through the hole, you could have shot him in the leg. You could have done a lot of different things here. Like, if you just like took your time, lined up the shot, he clearly cannot see you because he's leaning to this side, so his body or his head is like right around this area, so he definitely cannot see you. So just line up the shot, do controlled and short bursts, and you probably would have at least injured him. Probably would have taken 2 to 5 bullets to injure this guy here, because Mav is a 1 armor, so he's very I don't know the word, but he'll die faster because he's a 1 armor. So when you are taking gunfights, just take your time and try to line it up, because you just like full auto'd this guy. You tried to spray him down, which didn't benefit you at all. You hit him once, I think, maybe twice. Same here again. You eventually kill him with a shotgun. Now you reload. Same thing. I mean, that was a lot more.
That guy's 1 HP. Zo could die for that.
That thermite fight was a lot more intense because he was already pre-aiming you, but the Mav, you probably would have injured. Let's watch the rest of this round. So you kill the Zofia. She's not even looking at you. You kill her. Now this is where you have a really important decision to make. Okay, so you know that he was on the yellow stack around this area. Now you have 2 really important pieces of utility. You have 2 smoke canisters. So this gives you the option to cut off his line of sight or his rotation potential. Because with the time left and how much time he spent killing the Zofia, he probably couldn't have gone far. And we know that because he was prone on the yellow stack still. So you had a really important option here. You could have smoked him off or smoked angles off in order for him not to be able to go anywhere and have to take the gunfight. But instead, you just kind of walk into the room, reloading, I think. Like, you just kind of like walk in.
1v1, baby.
Like you don't need to reload here. And you walk in looking to like you walk in pre-aiming. Like, I don't know. Like you had enough time here to take the gunfight and try to use your utility, your smoke canisters. You constantly need to be looking up here whenever you can, just so you can pay attention to how much time you actually have. Because whenever the diffuser is planted, defenders are always like, yo, we have to go, 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 go. But no, you don't need to go. All you need is 7 seconds to defuse. Maybe a few seconds to run over to the diffuser, but you don't need to start defusing as soon as it's planted. You have the option, and you have a little bit of time to figure out where you need to push from, who you should kill first. You have a lot of different options. You're not as pressured as you need to, that you make yourself feel. just because I think the fuse timer is 45 seconds. I'm almost positive. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I'm almost positive the fuse timer is 45 seconds. So you don't need to just like rush into the room, try to find a diffuser, take as many gunfights as you can. No, you have a decent amount of time in order to win the round. Now you put it in a 1v1 situation, and I don't know why you just walk into the room like reloading or like walking and shit like that. Like, you know the thermite was on the yellow table somewhere around this area. So you should at least be like, maybe jiggle peeking this door a little bit, bait out some shots, bait out the shots, you know where he's at. You throw your smoke canister down, you smoke him off, whatever, you make him rotate. You had a lot of different options here because smoke canisters are really, really universal. Like, they're a very universal piece of utility. Like, you didn't, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but you look like you weren't even ready to walk in that room. Like, you just finished the reload animation and you just start pre-aiming. Like, use your smoke canisters to your advantage. Maybe shotgun this wall right here, throw a smoke canister over the wall. Like, you had a whole lot of options here, and you just kind of, you just went in very strict right through the doorway. Like, you have a lot of different options here.
All friendlies were eliminated. Op 4 located the bomb. Protected.
You Charlie, good day. Jammer activated.
The wall's been reinforced!
10 seconds left.
Jammer deployed.
5 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb.
Place the wire in position. Jammer activated.
Swapping!
C4 deployed.
Fuck it. It's piano. Oh my god.
Just a little prick.
Piano still.
That's unfortunate. So,
Piano. Fuck it.
you could have won this gunfight, and I'll tell you
Piano.
how. So you advanced, so you swing when you hear your teammate, like, when you hear the thermite start shooting. Now, the reason you lost this gunfight is because you're walking towards him away from your cover. You are a doc. You pretty much have, like, full health the entire round. Like, potentially. So, you walked out of showers, you wide swing this 90 corner, and then you start walking towards him, when you should be walking away and trying to kill him on the corner of the angle. Instead, you walked out into the middle of the open, and it allowed the thermite to kill you.
Oh my god.
Now,
Piano
you did
still.
whiff, but you would have had a much higher chance of surviving one and winning the
This
gunfight
fucking thermite, bro.
because you walked
It's
or
my
you stayed
fault.
behind cover.
I'm fucking still anxious from the first fucking. Oh my goodness. It's cool. It's whatever.
Having a good positive mindset, that's good. Everyone whiffs. That's just how it goes, bro.
Let's switch
Everyone-
sides.
Everyone whiffs. I whiff. Pro players whiff. Pengu whiffs. Bolo whiffs. Shaiko, like, everyone whiffs. Don't worry. Don't get too worried about it. Now, you're being very methodical with your operator choice choices here. Choices? I'm stupid. I'm actually stupid. Whatever.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
In position. Pin deployed.
Okay, pretty default ADS placements. So, I mean, I guess you know a little bit about the map.
Be ready for assault.
They still got barbed wire and 2 reinforcements. Definitely should reinforce the game's wall. Now that's good. You put your barbed wire in pretty decent locations. Because those are choke points. Now they can vault over the table, but, you know,
Down to 5
not horrible bar placement. I can definitely say that. Reinforcing the game's wall, which is good. You notice that it was soft. Alright, so you're sitting on these stairs, I don't know why. You're just kind of sitting here. You know that your team, you hear gunfights being, like, had on the other side of the map, so that would probably tell me to rotate, because, I mean, it was like 1 minute and 50 seconds and you were still there, so sitting there for over a minute, expecting someone to push that area is not very likely, just because you have so many teammates taking gunfights on the other side of the map. Now you know Ash is either kitchen or reception. It's an IQ and an Ash, so last 2 were there. That's a thermite actually.
1 op 4 remaining.
Alright, so you flanked, which is good. You got the refrags, which is good. You played this situation well. So I really can't say much negative things about the round. I mean, you understood where the enemies were coming from. It took you a little bit longer than I would have adjusted to, but you adjusted nonetheless, so that's good. Now you tried to pick thermite there, but, you know, big iron, ____ took it instead. So,
Hey, thermite, you down to take bull?
so, you hopped in the Thatcher anyway, which is, I mean,
Alright, cool.
you hard locking support ops in ranked is really good. That shows me that you want to win, because whenever someone hard locks a support op every single round, they want to win the round in the game. You're looking at utility, which is also really good. Understanding what we have or what your team has in the lineup. A flank watcher on this map is kind of important, just because it's such a big map and there's so many different staircases. I'm pretty sure there's 4 staircases. So, having a flank watcher is really important. A gridlock or a nomad. I would have asked the Hibana maybe, hey, go gridlock or something, because nomad is a really tricky op to play. If you're not smart with your utility placement on nomad, it's pretty much useless.
Seconds to insertion. Insertion in 5 seconds.
You checked your spawn. Spawned with thermite, which is good.
Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Changing back.
Ready to go. Drone spinning.
You're still adjusting to your keybinds, which I mean is normal. I used to do the same thing when I started playing on PC. I would definitely. I'll probably change up your keybinds though. I don't know. They seem kind of weird to me. That's just my opinion. I barricaded that door, which is really good. Now you shoot the defaults. Alright, you know one's top piano, so it's either the Rook or the Oryx.
Start loading.
Send up a flank drone in garage.
I'm on it.
Now you still have another drone. It's in electrical drone hole. So I don't know why you're not using that to drone the site. I would at least. You know the Rook is laundry. You don't know where the Oryx is at. He could be flanking. He could not be. It's really hard to tell.
Can you smoke far and plant thermite? Smoke the rotate and then smoke the door.
So you're calling out user utility.
Recover the diffuser. The diffuser is
You try to grab the diffuser. So one thing I'm noticing is you're not using your EMPs in sight. You saw the Capital throw his flashes into the bomb site, so that would tell me that there's no ADSs there. So I would be throwing them probably top piano, like piano door to games, and maybe showers rotate. Just so at least you're not like saving their utility for no reason, because you have no reason to save it. You really don't have any reason to use it, but at least get that utility out, just so you can say that you used your utility, and you never know, you using that utility could help in some way. You never really know. EMPs are really, really good universal pieces of equipment, so just get that utility out.
Side, bro.
Side next to the bomb.
Yeah, that's the Oryx. Now you know the last scene was the Rook laundry. Now, okay, this is what you could do. Since you have the EMPs to your advantage, there's 40 seconds left. You could throw an EMP down. I do this all the time in ranked or competitive play if I have the option. It works with flashbangs, it works with EMPs, it works with grenades. Pretty much anything that makes a very loud sound. You could throw the EMP down, time it with the diffuser being planted. So you throw it down, you wait until it detonates, and then you hold F right before it detonates, and then it masks the sound of you diffusing. You'll get like a quarter way through the diffuser being planted, halfway through, and the defender will have absolutely no idea because you mask the sound of it. So definitely try to use something like that to your advantage. Because at this point you don't really know where the Rook is at.
Watch me. 50. Good shit. Good
4
shit.
eliminated. Your mission is to locate and defuse a bomb.
I'm all the way over here, bro.
Reloading! Cover me!
Drop the diffuser.
Alright, so you recognize that Thermite's dead, so you're probably not going to go with him anymore. You're probably going to try to go on a solo push.
Nobody's restaurant.
Yeah, you need to be calling out what you're droning here, at least just to tell your teammates.
Did you drone out like garage and party and office? Or...
No, just restaurant. Let me go first. You can train me out, Capital. I'm gonna get rid of this barb.
I would at least throw a flashbang first.
I have a flank drone watching Shark Stairs, if you can watch that.
I got it.
I got a nitrate.
I heard you like gasp because you're like, oh shit, there might be a nitro cell here, and you fucking run. I mean that's a good observation. I mean it's very common to put a nitro cell here. My biggest thing with this map is bull, like taking bull control as an attacker or defender or having control of it. Bull is pretty much the heart of the map upstairs because you can cut off all of the rotates, and you can go any direction you need to on the map. So having bull control is really important. So it's very common for the defenders to put a nitro cell there. Now, the thing about you using that Ash Charge there is there could have been an ADS, and you could, let's just say there was an ADS, you could have avoided having your Ash Charge being caught by the ADS. It's always good whenever you want to use an Ash Charge to at least throw a flashbang in just to test the waters, because it's less utility expensive to use one flashbang and an ash charge than it is to lose an ash charge and then have to use a flashbang, if that makes sense. So it's better for you to use 2 flashes and 1 ash charge, 2 flashes to burn the ADS, and then use the ash charge, than it is to lose an ash charge and have to use another flashbang to burn the ADS. So whenever you want to use an ash charge through a doorway that's near the site, or you might think there might be an ADS, just throw 1 flashbang. If there isn't an ADS, that's good. You wasted a flashbang, but it's better than wasting an ash charge. Now you have a drone here, don't you? You have a drone electrical drone hole, so you should be droning site instead of trying to take these gunfights.
One's playing this out of bathroom right now.
One's Oryx is in garage.
Oryx is in garage. You should be reacting to that, yeah.
I'm watching garage.
You're gonna kill him in
got the one restroom.
like 10-15 seconds. He's probably crouch walking through. You're making too much noise.
Can we smoke again and then get the plant down?
You have located a bomb. The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
That's probably the Oryx.
Loading door.
One friendly
can't
operator
see.
remaining.
The piano
He's
door.
playing far back in piano.
All friendlies have been eliminated.
I mean, there's not much you could do there. He had an ACOG, you had a hollow, and you weren't even pre-aiming that area. One thing I'm noticing, like, when you were peeking behind the bowl, though, is you need to eliminate angles. So, you have the option, if you want to peek piano side, you sit more on the ass end of the bowl. Because, so that way you can eliminate the showers angle. Because right now, you're peeking, and you have the piano door here, and then you have the showers rotate here. When you could go more to the left and eliminate the showers angle, so all you have is to worry about the piano angle here. If that makes sense. And same thing with the showers. You could go on the right side of the bowl, like more towards Shark, and you could eliminate the piano angle, and you could only hold an angle like this, and then the showers rotate would be here. So just think about eliminating angles instead of being open to multiple different angles at one time. Because that's how you died there. If you went a little bit more to the left and only held the piano angle, then you might have won the gunfight. You might have headshot the doc or something like that. But instead you were holding showers when the piano door was open, you weren't holding it, and it got you killed.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Okay, so you should be walking around with your Jackal scanner if you're not going to drone. Because, I mean, using your Jackal scanner to see footprints is pretty much droning. It's like less accurate drone intel. Like, if you just walk around and you pay attention to the floor, see like this, like there's no footsteps, you don't see anyone, there's no footsteps, no one's around in this area, you should be walking around with it at all times if you're not going to drone. Should definitely be paying attention to that. Now right here, you're going to have some footprints. Wherever you see a piece of utility from the defenders, there's going to be footprints. It's like the yin and the yang. So if you are playing Jackal, this is either going to be an Ella, a Jaeger, or a Doc, would be my guess, because those are the only 3 operators that I would see or guess on the Defenders team. It's probably going to be the Ella, would be my guess, because it's very common for Ella mines to be on staircases or near them. But yeah, whenever you're playing Jackal, you need to be paying attention to utility placement, because obviously someone can't put a piece of barbed wire down without walking over to that area. Now there are exceptions for throwable gadgets like Vault Cams, Legion Mines, Ella Mines, Wamai discs. You know, throwable utility can be thrown from a distance, but it's still going to be in an area close. So whenever you see a piece of utility, there's going to be footsteps on that utility or near that area. Okay, so you slam the Ella. I would definitely be pre-aiming this angle, because it's very common for a defender to sit on this little box here. So you have the bomb chassis here, and And then you have the box here, which is something like this. It goes like that. It's very common for a defender to be holding this angle. So she was holding a little bit different of an angle. She was close up on the door here, and her head was around there. But it's very common for a defender to hold this angle. So if you're going to peek this door, at least pre-fire this area here. But you win the gunfight, you beat the Ella. Now you need to be Jackal tracking. If you're not going to drone the site, you're going to have to Jackal track. You could probably see 3 defender footsteps in this area alone. Alright, so there goes the Maestro. So last one's a Mira. They didn't even bring a Jaeger. So that would tell me that we can use our smokes to the highest potential. You only have 1 nitro cell left. You have 2 impacts, and Doc doesn't do shit for plant denial. So the only 2 people I should worry about for trying to plant here is is Mira and Rook, because they have explosives. Rook has impacts, Mira has a C4. But not seeing a Jaeger in their lineup tells you that you should just let your smokes and your flashes fly. Like, you should just let them fly. You could probably plant here, honestly. If you figure out where the Mira window's at, smoke the Mira window, smoke the doorway, have someone cover planter, you hold bull, yada yada yada. But you have a lot of different options with your smoke canisters now, because you know they don't have a Jaeger or a Wamai. You still have a drone, and you still have 3 Jackal tracks that you're not using. I don't know if you've never played Jackal, or you don't play Jackal a lot, but you need to understand how strong his utility
he's in office, at the rotational. He's going to office door. Peeking office door.
Now you have.
He's just holding it.
You can still Jackal track. You can smoke. So you're smoking the door.
He's close.
Which is good.
Close left.
You can't see him anymore. He's back by the smoke. He's prone in the smoke.
He's prone in the smoke.
You should be fighting him.
He's in ball.
Run out office door. There you go.
Alright, so one thing is, if I were you in this situation, if you have accurate intel, I would be fighting him. 2, I would be smoking off more angles. And 3, I would be reacting a lot faster to these callouts. I don't know if it's you having to think about callouts, but with me, reacting to a callout is second nature. Like, if someone calls something and I hear it, I immediately know, okay, he's bull. Okay, I get off plant because the wall is open here. There's a huge ass Habana hole, and there's a small little hole in the soft wall. So I don't know if it's you not knowing callouts, or you haven't played this map a lot, but I think you know the callouts because you're reacting to them, but you're not reacting fast enough, because it could be the difference between you losing or winning this round. And another thing, the smoke canisters. Smokes are so strong in this map. You could literally smoke off both of these angles here with 1 smoke canister if you put it there. I mean, smokes are so strong. You know they don't have a Jaeger. You just know. So you should be using your smokes to the highest potential they can have.
Hold on.
Good calls, man.
Mission successful.
I mean, but you played the round well. You won the round. You got your frags, which is good. I wish I would have seen you Jackal track though, because Jackal tracking is really, really good.
Insertion in 5 seconds.
Okay, you're pre-placing your drone electrical drone hole every single round, and yet I still have to see you use it. Like, you put it there every single round, and you still haven't used it. I would probably melee that barricade instead of shooting it, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're playing ranked, and you never know, bro. Someone could be top rafters waiting for you to shoot that barricade open, and they could just jump out and you're, like, reloading. So I'd definitely melee it once, shoot the cam, whatever, and then worry about reloading, or at least shoot it a little bit, reload, and then break the barricade, so that way you have a little bit of ammo left if you have to take a gunfight. Alright, so you just saw that the office window and office door are barricaded. So what this tells me is that they gave us garage, at least top garage control for free. Now, there is the chance that there might be someone up there, but it's a lot less likely because they barricaded off their one of their rotation paths. There could be someone bottom garage, and again, there could be someone like ratting out top garage. But this would tell me that, okay, I don't need to drone that heavy in this area because they barricaded it. Again, there still is a chance that someone could be sitting in a rat corner or prone somewhere and you misdrone them, whatever, yada yada. But this tells me that there's a less likelihood of that happening. Okay, so finally you use your electric drone. You realize it's there, so you don't have to drone. So you don't have to drive your drone through the door or whatever.
Nobody party.
Recover the diffuser. The diffuser has been recovered.
All right, you're doing your job as a support. You're droning everything out,
Diffuser.
making sure everything's clear.
Come over here, Thatcher. We need you.
Diffuser is now secured.
Alright, so that's a good adjustment there as well. You use the... Okay, so you use your EMPs, which is good. You finally use all 3 EMPs, which is really, really good. You use one for the wall, you use one for the default nitro, and then you use one for the wall again because they do have a K.
Bomb right now. B-bomb. Cade is like 1 HP. He's 50, he's 50. Cade dead.
Alright, so the reason
like
you lost this gunfight is because... he simply has a higher damage per second weapon than you. You hit him in the arm or the leg, I can't really remember. But... you hit him in the arm. He shot you more center mass. So... maybe try peeking that crouch level, because... that way you could see his head, or at least like most of his body. But in that situation, all you could really see was his leg. And his elbow, arm, whatever. But I think I'm going to wrap up the VOD there, because I don't want to make it too long. We're already at 50 minutes, which is pretty long. So on defense, definitely try to increase your situational awareness, and the only real way to do that is to play. Put yourself through more situations, maybe watch some Pro League, watch some of your content creators, see the way they react to callouts, and what they do in certain situations when they do get callouts. And that's on defense. And on attack, think about using your utility more. Like we can recall you not really using your Jackal tracks or your smokes to the highest potential that they could be used. And the same round when you were Thatcher and you had 2 EMPs left, you could have used them for top piano or something. Even though you probably wouldn't have gotten anything, but at least use a utility. So that way you can have practice with it. You can understand what works best with that utility, what doesn't work as well. Test different angles to smoke. You know, this game is all about repetition. That's all it really is. Repetition until you feel confident in whatever situation you've been in before. Not every single situation is going to be the exact same, but a lot of situations are going to be very similar. So it's all about repetition with utility, playstyle, gun skill, positioning, everything pretty much. So I hope this VOD review helped you out in some way. I think your name is Ninebanger, yeah. So I hope the VOD helped you out. And I'm looking forward to a future VOD review of you. I want to see your progress. I'm actually really interested in seeing your progress. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up here. As I said at the beginning of the video, there are links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, as well as my tip video playlist down below. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like, maybe share it with a friend, maybe a family member, and hit that notification bell as well, so that way you can keep up to date with everything that I post on my YouTube channel. And yeah, I hope the video gave you some new insight, maybe some new ideas, gave you some new tips toward the game. And I will see you guys in the next video.